Okay, we're gonna give it a second. And give me some light. It is so dark here. Okay. Slightly better. Okay, we are going to give it a moment or two. It is pouring down rain and I have no overhead lighting in my office, so this always makes YouTube streaming so much fun. But we're going to give it a couple more minutes because I know a couple people wanted to hop on. I just texted all of them. We'll see if they hop on. If not, we're just gonna start talking. I had to pop on early because I needed to leave early. That's on me for overscheduling myself. But as I said in the chat, the first 3 influencer networks we're going to be talking about is Influenster, Biz Agents, and then We Sponsored. And then I will put the rest of them in the chat as I talk about them. So we will just give it some time and see who is popping on. Okay, I see 3 people and I know one of them is Gloria. Hello to the other 2 people. I'm just going to give it another moment or two just to see who pops on. I know I said I was going to go live at 7 and then I changed my mind to 6:45. I apologize. But we'll give it another moment or two. I hope everyone's enjoying their Wednesday night. I have my list ready to go and I'm ready to answer questions. It's a very quick list just to keep my thoughts together, but I'm ready. We're going to be talking about platforms that both do gifted campaigns and platforms that do paid campaigns. Most of them are going to be gifted, just that's how those platforms work, but there will be some where you get a paid opportunity in there. Yeah, we're going to give it another moment or two. If you haven't already said hello in the chat, make sure you say hello, just so I can see who's on the chat. I like to address people. I don't just like talking to myself. Feels kind of weird. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Tim and Katie. I hope you guys are doing well. Oh, I see Avery's Adventures is here. So I'm going to assume that's Selma. We're going to give another moment or two. How's the weather in Maryland, either Gloria or Tim and Katie? Because I was up there 2 weeks ago and it's pouring down rain here in true Florida fashion. So hopefully it's nice and cooler up there. We're going to give it another moment or two. It's hot. Yeah, it's hot here. It was 97 today. But the rain hopefully will cool it down. 108 tomorrow in Maryland. Are y'all okay if it's 108 in Maryland? Holy cow. This has nothing to do with the purpose of this live stream, but like I am generally worried if it's 108 in Maryland and it's only 96 down here in Florida. Okay, I think people are going to pop on as they can. I know I said 7 o'clock and I'm starting at 6:45, but thank you all for joining me. I've had several people, with the heat index, got it. I've had several people ask me influencer questions and whatnot, both in the Disney community and outside of the Disney community. And I figured going live on YouTube was the best way to answer questions. So I'm not answering individual questions at once, but I know everyone, especially now during inflation, likes to try to monetize content, and social media marketing is definitely the new trend to be able to do that. Brands recognize that they don't want to go to celebrities anymore because celebrities don't seem real. So they come to micro influencers, nano influencers, content creators to help do this content. Hi, Erin. So nice to see you. So this live is just going to be about influencer platforms, networks, collectives, websites, places where you can get campaigns if you don't feel comfortable cold emailing a brand. I'm not going to say cold calling because that's more of like a salesy thing, but if you don't want to cold pitch a brand on Instagram or on email, these are the platforms where you set up an account and they kind of are the middleman and they'll kind of walk you through everything. Some of them are going to be gifted, some of them are going to be paid. I will give you my thoughts and opinions on all of them. This is not sponsored by any means, way, shape, or form. I have used all of these platforms and have gotten gifted and paid campaigns from both, but none of them are saying anything for like my thoughts here. Hi, Karen. So I said in the chat a little bit above, the first 3 that we're going to talk about are going to be Influenster, Biz Agents, and We Sponsored. So Influenster is probably the OG influencer network that I have ever used. I started using them probably in undergrad, so it's been 7, 8 years at this point. Um, 7, 8 years, yeah, probably like sophomore year of college. So Influencer is just going to be your gifted campaigns. And they usually don't have a minimum. Like you can upload your social media platforms on there and they'll start sending you surveys for product. And the way that they do the product is two different ways. Usually it'll be like one brand, one product. So I've tried like Sephora lashes, and that was like the only thing in that box. Or like I just did a suave like hair thing, one thing, one box. Or they will do like kind of a curated box where it might have like hair care, skin care, nail polish, stuff like that. And usually you used to be able to pick and choose what social media platforms you were able to post on from Influencer. And now they kind of will tell you what you need to do in order to complete that campaign. Most of the time, it's posting on Instagram. Sometimes they'll put in some like YouTube and stuff in there. I haven't seen TikTok, but that could be changing as times change and whatnot. But they are probably the lowest bar and the easiest thing to do when it comes to like getting free product. Like you get it, you fill out a survey, you get some stuff sent in the mail, you take a photo, post on your Instagram story, do the tags, etc. Influencer, like literally bare minimum. They have rebranded and like redone some stuff, so I haven't gotten as many campaigns as I used to, but also I'm not filling out surveys. So that could also be on me. But Influencer is probably like the easiest thing if you're not like super into like wanting to post content that is sponsored on platforms yet. Like probably the easiest. Very, very similar is a platform called Biz Agents, BZZ, and then the word agents. That one is even simpler. They send you emails and they're like, we are sending out this new Keratis hair thing. Are you willing to post a review about it on Sephora? If so, we will send it to you. And it's normally products that are like relatively new or like have come out within the last month. And you don't even have to post them on your social media platform. You literally just have to write a review on like a Sephora or an Ulta or an Amazon or like wherever the product is sold. So that one is not even tied with social media, but I kind of like threw it in there because you're like getting product. I've never had to post anything I've gotten from there on social media. So those are the first two gifted. So we have Influencer and Biz Agents. The next one is a newly discovered one that I discovered last fall. And I know several people in the chat, like Cami, who I see is on, and Aaron have used We Sponsored because I have sent them campaign links. I think I've invited them or we've all heard about it. We Sponsored is an app that you apply for. I want to say it's mostly gifted campaigns because the payout is a lot lower than with other ones. So I actually posted one on my Instagram today. It was for like Nick's keto chocolate bars. So you apply for these campaigns, you get accepted, and then they have like little tasks that are worth different monetary amounts. Some of them will be like $3, some of them will be $5, etc. For We Sponsored, you need to almost all of the campaigns you have to post on Instagram, your Instagram stories. And then if you want to do a feed post, they'll pay you more. This one you can't negotiate like pay rates or anything. Like if they say the campaign is $25, you're getting $25 in addition to the free product, which is nice. I mean, in inflation with rising prices and whatnot, I'm not going to complain about $25. That's a handful of Starbucks drinks. That's, gas in my car. I've only done a couple campaigns with We Sponsored, so like I can't like fully flesh out my thoughts about them. I don't hate it, but I don't understand how I get chosen for campaigns. And I also don't understand if it's like social media related that the payout is. I don't know if everyone gets the same payout. I don't know how their algorithm works or whatnot. It's not terrible. And like the requirement for me as an influencer is not intensive to like have to post an Instagram story or an Instagram post. But you get to try some interesting products. I got like a $250 like cloud storage thing, which is like where all my YouTube videos go. So We Sponsored is up there, but it was the next one that was on my list. So that one is both gifted. I will categorize that as like gifted with a small monetary like value there. Um, any comments, questions, or concerns about those three? Cami, are those the jeans that didn't fit you that you messaged me and asked if you can get new ones? Um, yeah. So first three we talked about are Influencer, Biz Agents, and We Sponsored. I'm gonna give the chat a second. Question for the Q&A at the end. How do you find that sponsored posts and branded content affect your audience? Do you see any measurable Oh, we love the Instagram algorithm. I will answer that now. Sponsored posts definitely do worse than regular posts just because I feel like Instagram hides the ad or sponsored hashtag, which the FTC requires you to include on an influencer post. So if I'm posting that I got a product for review or I got a product to try or to sell to you guys, the FTC requires that you put like hashtag hosted, hashtag ad, hashtag sponsored, and that kills your post automatically. And then the flip side of that is you have to give your post analytics to the brand afterwards. And you're like, hey, I have a X, Y, and Z engagement rate. The engagement rate on this post is significantly less because it was a sponsored post. And that's the world that all of us influencers live in, unfortunately. So what you kind of try to do is you kind of try to make your engagement rate and the rest of your feed look really, really good. And then you just kind of eat the fact that those posts are going to tank. And I think we've all accepted that. My friends who have posted sponsored content, you guys can answer in the chat if you want to about that. But I think all of us have like just stomached the fact that if we're going to post something sponsored, we're going to annoy the crap out of our friends to go comment and like on it to try to get it some engagement. Other than that, it's not going to get any organic reach, which sucks. Do you see any measurable impact on your followers after a post? If it is a sponsored post, not necessarily. Sometimes you might see people that are newer influencers looking at a campaign hashtag and will follow you if you are a bigger influencer than them because you were in the same campaign as them. But if anything, after I post a sponsored post, I'm probably going to lose people, to be perfectly honest. Um, it's just the way the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. Yeah, I can leave all the links in the description. It probably won't go up until tomorrow, but yeah, I can leave links to all of these. So the next couple ones I'm going to talk about, I'm going to write in the chat. It's going to be Heartbeat, Activate, and Aspire IQ. Okay. I have a love-hate relationship with Heartbeat. Heartbeat is another app that does paid campaigns that you apply for. And their payout rate is terrible, and their payout time just changed. So if you are starting out and you would like to build your media kit, I would recommend Heartbeat. But if you are looking to make serious money in influencing, don't use Heartbeat. I will be perfectly honest. My pay rate on there is $25, and I have gotten way more than that for a campaign, like significantly more. And my engagement rate is tanking right now because Instagram is changing its algorithm and is pushing reels. So my engagement rate isn't great, but $25 for a post is not great. That's not great for the amount of followers that I have and the engagement rate that I have. So I would use Heartbeat with a grain of salt, and I would definitely use it to build a portfolio if you need to, if Influencer isn't doing it for you. But I would not like quit my full-time job and just use Heartbeat as like my sole source of income because holy cow. Not a fan. And they changed their payout terms where it takes forever to pay out, and they boosted my payment rate like 2 or 3 months ago, and they didn't send me my updated like when they paid it out, they didn't send me the updated payment rate. So I had to fight with them, and it took another 30 days to get my like to get the price adjustment. It was ooh, it's a whole thing. Not super happy with Heartbeat, but it exists. Feel free to download it for yourself and you might love it. Not a huge fan. The next one is Activate. So Activate is relatively new And it is essentially just like a directory where you can apply for campaigns. You link your social media profiles, you apply for campaigns, and you get to bid. So if the company is like, hey, we have this campaign, we need an Instagram story with 4 slides, we need an Instagram static post, and we need this, you can be like, okay, I charge $150 for that. And they're like, oh, we also want usage rights. And you're like, okay, well, I charge $100 for usage rights for 6 months of usage rights. So that one is a little bit better because you can like bid for it. You're not necessarily going to get your bid. Like you might have to negotiate and go back and forth, but at least you can set your rate. Like the platform is not setting it for you, which is kind of nice. I've only done gifted campaigns through them, and I've only done 2. So we don't have a full view of Activate. I've done toothpaste with them, and I'm working on a Truebill collaboration with them. So hit or miss there. The next one is Aspire IQ, and I have a love-hate relationship with Aspire IQ. They have 2 different ways. So if you've never done a campaign with them before, you can apply for up to 5 paid campaigns a month. And the second you get accepted to one and you get a good review, you have the ability to apply for more. And they also have like brand ambassador applications on there because some programs use that. I've gotten accepted for way more brand ambassador programs on there. And I put that in quotation marks because it's essentially just gifted campaigns. Like that's all it is. If you follow me on Instagram or TikTok, it was my eargasm earplugs campaign. It was my mouth off gum campaign. I got on there. What was the candle brand? The Luminaria candle brand was from there. I hopefully on Aspire IQ have my first 2 paid ones that I'm working on right now that will get me through that gate so I can apply for more. But that's kind of the like hardship I'm facing there. Also, I wish Tasha was on because she could comment on this as well. I think I can only apply for paid TikTok campaigns because my Instagram engagement rate is not high enough to qualify for paid campaigns on Instagram on Aspire IQ, but I could be wrong. My TikTok engagement rate is high enough, I think. I haven't looked at their behind the scenes and like how they rated me in a while. But that is Aspire IQ. So we're doing these in like chunks. So that was Heartbeat, Activate, and Aspire IQ. Comments, questions, concerns about those before I go on to like the next chunk. We probably have 3 or 4 more chunks because there are so many platforms out there now. Like everyone realized that influencer marketing is the it thing, and everyone is creating like a platform to help influencers, which is why I have love-hate relationships with all of them. And I didn't realize how many I was on or used until I like brain dumped this list. And I'm looking at it now and I'm missing like 3. So, tis what it is. But before I move on in the chat, let's see. Aaron said payout time got better, but yeah, it's love-hate relationship. Yeah, I know you don't like Heartbeat. It's like you and I have a love-hate relationship with Heartbeat. She did one recently and she actually played time, but she's not getting any other campaigns. Okay. I haven't heard about them Activate before. Yep, there are so many out there. I feel like if you just like Googled influencer like platforms and stuff, you probably get a million. Okay, so we'll type the next couple. Here's my idea and 4. Okay. So the next one is Peers Way, and I don't remember how I heard of this, and I've never gotten a campaign with them. So it's just me and me telling you about it. You create an account, they approve you to be on their platform, and then you apply for campaigns. That's all I have there. I've never worked with their things. I've just filled out the surveys and tried to get campaigns. I have never gotten anything. That platform also dictates your payout rate. So you can't bid for it. So when you apply for the campaign, you have to read the entire thing and they're like, this campaign is $100. That's all we're giving you. So that could be a pro or a con depending on how big of an influencer you are, how much money you want to make off of it, etc. That one you have no say, no negotiating room. IZEA. I've gotten one successful campaign with them. And it was pretty good because you get to bid, like, you get to bid and negotiate your payout rate. So again, they're like, we want an Instagram story or we want an Instagram static post. How, like, you're going to bid, you're going to be like, okay, I charge $50 for a static post, or I charge $25 for a story, whatever your going rate is. Um, the only thing there is the money sits in account and it's net 45 terms, which is even worse than Heartbeat because Heartbeat is net 30. If you're not an accounting or a finance person, net means it just takes 30 business days for that money to be released or paid to you or however it's going. So IZEA is net 45, which if you're like scrambling and need money and whatnot, that's not a great thing. But depending on the brand, like, you could get what you want. Like, I thought I overbid for the one campaign that I got with IZEA, and, like, the brand accepted it like that, but the money's been sitting there. I think it gets released for me sometime in the beginning of August. So that's the terrible part, is the fact that that money is just sitting in limbo and I can't touch it. But that's going to be a common occurrence with a lot of these things I'm talking about. Like, a lot of campaigns are going to be net something, net this. I didn't even talk about where I got my biggest ones. Let me add that to my list because that is a huge amount of money that I got from this one platform, and that's net 45 as well. Okay, that's IZEA. IZEA's behind the scenes API also isn't working for me because it won't recognize my Pinterest or my YouTube. So I can only bid for Instagram campaigns and TikTok campaigns right now, which is kind of annoying because I would like to bid for other stuff as well. Or there's like campaigns where you can, like, it's like a multi-channel campaign where you can bid for like TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and it won't let me do it because it won't recognize something behind the scenes. So I have to check my YouTube security settings or whatever so I can bid for those campaigns. Those three went super quick. Anyone? Peers Way, IZEA, or I haven't talked about 4 yet. 4 is interesting because 4 is a bigger influencer platform. And they have like a really great Instagram account, and I follow the creator or like the CEO on YouTube, and he has like a lot of insights and whatnot. I've never gotten a paid campaign from there, but one of my favorite gifted campaigns came from there, and it's Band of Bagels. I applied for like their ambassador program on 4, got it, and now I get bagels like once a month, and it's amazing because those bagels are so freaking good. And I don't even care that I'm not getting paid for that. I just really like those bagels, so I will just post them on Instagram all the time. On the back end, 4 is actually really, really good to have as an influencer just because it gives you a lot of back end analytics. So they can calculate Instagram they can calculate Instagram engagement rate, Instagram growth rates, and then the same thing for all of the other channels you're on, your TikToks, your YouTubes, your Pinterest, whatever you use to monetize content. So if you don't know how to calculate that yourself or don't know where to find those analytics, 4 is great to have because they'll pull them once a month for you so you can update your media kit. So they work twofold. They're great for analytics to help update your media kit and whatnot, but they will also help you get gifted campaigns because the only thing I've gotten from there is the bagels. Okay. Anything about Peers Way, IZEA, or 4? Chat is very quiet. I'm talking a lot, just making sure everyone is like understands what I'm saying. I'm not confusing anyone. I'm going to take a sip of water. I got 11 people watching. This is amazing. And I know 11 people wanted to hear me talk. This is beautiful. Cami says no questions. So we're going to just type the next chunk for you guys. Okay, so those are the next 3 that I'm going to go through in a moment. Just going to give everyone a second to process everything, my brain a second to process everything, and then those are the next 3 that we're going to talk about. And then we probably have like 5 or 6 after those 3. Then we're going to leave it to some questions, and then I got to go. Okay, so the next one is Her Campus and Influencer Collective. So they're all owned by the same company, and I believe it's Her Campus Media is what owns all of them. but I joined them as a grad student because they are specifically for college students. Um, so I joined her campus and then they migrated like my membership or like my profile over to Influencer Collective. So I don't know how open this is going to be for everyone because it's mostly college students. So if you're not currently enrolled in a college class or considered a college influencer, I don't know how beneficial that one is going to be for you. But they do two different things. They do, I think it's every fall and every spring they do like college pick me up like box that's filled with like a lot of goodies. You've been following me on Instagram for a while. You've seen the box. I think I posted an opening of one of the boxes on my YouTube way back when. And those goodies are like those boxes are just filled with like so many goodies. One time I got Hallmark cards. One time I got a book. I got a Bumble bucket hat one time. I got a whole bunch of skincare from CeraVe in one of them. They're just like huge PR boxes with a whole bunch of product in them. And you just have to like post an opening. And then is it weekly? It's either weekly or bi-weekly, like once every 2 weeks. They send out emails with brands that they're partnering with and you can apply for like campaigns there. And I believe you can bid your rate on those campaigns. So they'll be like, we're looking for TikTok influencers with 10K to 20K followers for this. I think they did one for like a razor for this razor company. It's going to be, you know, Instagram story, blah, 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 TikTok, blah, 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 blah. What's your rate? And you fill out an application. I think I've only gotten the free boxes from them and I've not gotten anything paid from them. But the caveat there is I believe it's only open to college influencers and college age influencers. So that puts a damper in that one. Also, they do the same influencer payout terms where it's either net 30 or net 45. Social Native is another platform where they just give you like a directory and you go in there and you just bid on stuff, but it's whatever rate they're telling you. Like I've only done one campaign with them and I didn't have to post anything. I just had to take a photo of something in my house and it was for Zillow. And they're like, if you take a photo of this thing in your house, you get $50, which doesn't make sense to me right now, but that's what they wanted. So my liquor cabinet or like my liquor bar cart is probably somewhere in a Zillow site. I don't know why. But I think that was more like UGC content. Can't really talk about Social Native. I think I got paid pretty quickly for that one. I think I had to like wait 4 or 5 days after the campaign officially closed for the payout to hit my PayPal. So that one wasn't terrible, but I've only had one campaign with them, so I can't speak too much about them. The next one though, we're going to have like a field day with. So Microdrive actually reached out to me. I did not discover them. One of their like recruiters reached out to me about their KT tape campaign because I was posting this like winter-ish a lot about cycle bar and fitness. So they reached out to me about KT tape and that was the first campaign that I did with them. And now with Microdrive, I will have by the end of the year done one KT tape campaign with them and gone to Denny's hosted 4 different times. If you didn't watch my previous live, hosted means that you go to like a hotel, a theme park, or a restaurant and your entire experience is comped, or you don't have to pay for your experience up to a certain point. So with Microdrive, I will have done 4 Denny's campaigns by the end of August, all up to $50, where I can eat there and my meal up to $50 will be covered by Denny's and Microdrive, and anything like $50.01, that 1 cent will be covered by me. So I love Microdrive. The brand manager or the program manager that is assigned to me is lovely, super understanding, super great, talks to me all of the time, told me I could do I did Denny's in February or March, and then I did it again in May, and I was like, okay, cool. Like, I'm not going to do Denny's again. And they reached out and they're like, you want to do it in July? And I was like, sure. And then like a week later, they're like, do you want to do Denny's again? And I was like, I'm literally going in a week in July. And they're like, yeah, you want to go in August? And I was like, sure. So Microdrive, I think their niche and their spin is they do certain campaigns with certain like restaurants or brands or companies. They want to do it locally. So anytime they send like a Google form I want to say it's once a month, like the beginning of every month. And they're like, these are the campaigns we're doing in every single state. If you live in this state, you're eligible to apply for these campaigns. So Denny's is the big one in Florida. Katie Tape was doing it in Florida. I've seen Mod Pizza on the list before, but I don't think Mod Pizza was eligible in Florida. They've done a whole bunch of stuff. So I've never been paid by Microdrive, but I have been hosted at Denny's several times, which I mean, I like free food, so I have no problem being hosted at a restaurant. I'm slowly moving away from gifted campaigns just because I'm at the point where if I can't eat it or use it to pay for gas or food for myself, I'm not like super like open to like gifted campaigns right now. But Katie Tape is something that I use when I'm running, so I was super open to that one. Um, yeah, so Microdrive is like a relatively new one that I've discovered, and they reached out to me, which is awesome. I have no complaints about them. They are probably one of my favorite influencer platforms to this day, but they're only doing gifted stuff. So keep that in mind. We're coming down to the wire. Let's do the next group. Feel free to ask any and all questions. Gloria, you and I have had this conversation. I don't sleep. So this is one of the many side hustles I do in addition to my full-time job and freelancing. And if you look at my to-do list right now, I have to shoot content for 6 different brands by either the end of this week or mid next week. So yeah. Stack Influence, Intern Queen, Influence Co. Finding campaigns, normally if it doesn't get emailed to me, I don't like siege out to it. And then I spend maybe like 20 minutes a week cold emailing brands. Creating content can be anywhere from like 5 minutes, and I just have to shoot a project to like, or a product to like several hours of like editing and putting stuff together. Tracking, I have a spreadsheet. That's how I keep track of everything. That's how I keep track of how much money I've made this year from content creation, how much I've made in gifted campaigns, what campaigns are coming up, etc. Actually, we're just gonna type the rest of them because I only have a few more. I think this is 2X's. Okay. Been talking for like a half an hour. Holy cow. Okay. So next one is Stack Influence. I've done one campaign with them, and I don't know how I feel about it. So they send you an email like once a month, and they give you like a list of like 10 things to pick from. You pick the one that you want the most. You purchase the product on Amazon. You post it on Instagram, and then they reimburse you, which is why I've only done one campaign with them because I don't like the way that system works. You're either going to send me the product, and then I'm going to create the content. You're not going to reimburse me for it, or you're going to send me the product and pay me for it. I'm kind of over like quasi gifted campaigns at this point. That's Stack Influence. Don't really have thoughts on them. The next one is Intern Queen, which is also a college-based one, and I joined it when I was in grad school. But the first campaign I got with them was actually this April, and it was Tommy Hilfiger in a bucket hat. So I did content creation for Tommy Hilfiger through Intern Queen, but instead of like paying me through PayPal or like rating me a check per se, I had to fill out a W-2, and I was considered a 1099 like freelance free employee or like independent contractor, I think is what a 1099 is actually considered. It was a 1099, and I had to fill out a timesheet, and I was my rate, which I didn't get to pick, they told me was $15.75 an hour for the campaign. So if I attended meetings for that campaign, if I thought about content, if I planned an outfit for content, if I was shooting content, if I was editing content, I was charging time to that, which I thought was a little weird because someone else that was on the campaign might have taken like 20 hours to do the campaign, where I don't know, I took like 10 to 12. So I probably made maybe $150 from that campaign, which is not terrible. I just thought it was weird that I was like considered hourly. So, like, that was weird, but Intern Queen, again, is behind the, like, college influencer wall, so I don't think you can apply for their network unless you are a college influencer and, like, you're like, "I go to UCF and I'll graduate in 20 whatever." So there's that, but I thought the, like, hourly thing was a little bit weird because normally it's like, "Okay, you're doing this campaign, I don't care what the deliverables are or what amount of time it takes you to get these deliverables, I'm giving you $100." So the hourly thing, like, I don't know, just didn't click with my brain. The next one is Influence Co., and that is a weird website, and it's kinda sketchy, and I've gotten, like, gifted campaigns from there, but, like, I would not recommend that one if I'm being perfectly honest. The weirdest brands are on that platform, and you get weird stuff. Now, granted, Life Stride shoes are on there, and BZ shoes are on there, and I've gotten free shoes from both of them through there, so, like, I can't complain too much because I love those shoes that I have from them, and those are well-known shoes. But, like, their API and their, like, platform just seems very sketch. So just take that with a grain of salt. Also, if you follow me on Instagram recently, they were the stun gun and the pepper spray campaign I did. I got through them too, and again, those were gifted. I don't hate Influence Co., but, like, also, do other platforms first that just don't give off the vibe. Um, The next one is Link Up, which I believe is considered a network now, but it's a smaller Instagram account and Facebook group that is run by a bigger influencer, and she, like, is the third party median between the other influencers and the brands. I've done one gifted campaign with them on TikTok for sunscreen. Again, trying to move away from gifted campaigns, so I don't think that one is ever gonna get paid. So there's that one. And then the pièce de résistance, Babelbox, because that is where I've gotten my biggest paid campaign that wasn't me cold emailing a brand. So I want to say Babelbox sends out emails randomly because I don't think there's ever been a rhyme or reason to when they've sent me their emails, and you just apply for the campaigns there. You don't get to bid for it, but their rates are way better than other platforms I've seen. They don't, like, undermine your rates. They're not like, you're an influencer, here's $10." They're like, those, like, the rates that I got paid for that campaign were really good. If you follow me on Instagram, that is my bird's eye food campaign. If you saw me, like, taking those photos and, like, the content creation set up in my kitchen that day for, like, cooking all of that food and getting those photos. Um, I've only done that one campaign with Babelbox, but it was my biggest paid campaign from a platform. So I don't have a lot to say about them, but I am happy that they do pay out higher rates than other platforms do. Other platforms, I feel like, very much undercut and brands run to them because they, like, undercut their influencers. I feel like Babelbox very much pays a pretty good price. Like, it's not the most I've ever been paid for a campaign. Like, I've negotiated higher rates, but it was, like, a pretty good amount for the amount of work that I had to do. Um, so I've talked about, like, 15 to 16 influencer networks and whatnot. I have a couple minutes, so if anyone wants to ask me questions about campaigns, content creation, these influencer platforms, getting paid, etc., I am more than happy to answer any questions. They don't have to technically be related to, like, what this live is about, but I will stay around for a hot second and see if anyone wants to talk. As always, if you want to message me on Instagram, I'm more than happy to answer questions. Cami can attest to that. Anytime she shoots me a question, I am very, very happy to answer it. If you haven't checked out my previous live about content creation, go check that one out. But yeah, I appreciate everyone hanging out with me on this Wednesday night and being in the chat. I hope this was helpful. I hope this gets you started on getting some campaigns and building up a media kit. My biggest thing for all of this is know your worth. Don't get underbid by some of these platforms. And yeah, this is, like, a serious thing that people are taking, and brands have budgets for influencers. So make sure that you advocate for yourself and you negotiate for yourself. It can be a little bit scary and it's a little bit hard to do and it's a hard pill to swallow. But remember that it's not free for you to take these photos, think of ideas, write captions, edit photos, edit videos, all of this jazz. So it is a job and you should get paid for it unless the product is worth it to you. So yeah, those are my biggest things. I will hang around for another moment or two in case anyone else has questions. But yeah, I appreciate everyone sticking around this, what is this, Wednesday night? And yeah. This is the fun part where 6 people are still watching me, but no one's talking in the chat, and I'm not going to end it yet. If you made it this far, drop your favorite Disney character in the chat. Mine is Figment, followed by Stitch and any of the Muppets. Hence the giant boards behind me. Hey, Amy was on. Why didn't you speak up earlier, dude? I would have said hi to you. I miss you. Come visit. Come ride Guardians with me. I'm terrified of that ride. I don't know if I've told you that, Amy. I'm low-key terrified of that ride. Like, I've ridden it 3 times now. Yeah, 3 times now. And I scream the entire time. I'll still go on it. And it's a beautiful ride and it's amazing. But like, holy cow, am I terrified of it. Aaron, your favorite character is Leia. I did know that. Why am I terrified of Guardians? I mean, it doesn't go upside down, but it's still like a pretty fast coaster and it like whips you and spins you and it's in the dark. And I don't know the track all the way yet. Like Everest used to terrify me as a kid, but I know where everything is now because I've ridden it a million times. Once I get to the million time point, Everest will no longer scare me. This is the aside. This is the PS. This is the bonus features of this live is me talking about stupid stuff. But yes, Guardians terrifies me because I don't know what's coming next. Also, Flock of Seagulls has been my favorite song so far. I've gotten the Tears for Fears song, the Blondie song, and the Flock of Seagulls song. And so far, I Ran by Flock of Seagulls is the best song that I've written on Guardians. And I'm very excited for the Christmas overlay. Okay, we're going to give it another minute and then I'm going to actually call it and we'll stop rambling. I ran so far away. Hopefully the rain has stopped. So my plans outside are not horribly ruined. Any final thoughts, opinions? I want to get September. Haven't gotten that yet. Heard it's a good one. Okay. Final questions, comments, concerns, political views, favorite colors. If not, we're going to end the stream. You got 20 seconds. We're going to wait till it gets to 44. And I ran so far away. Okay, thank you guys for joining. I hope this was helpful. Again, watch the previous one and stay tuned for more influencer related lives coming soon.